Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to tonight's show. Special guest is Cloud9 here. How are you doing, Cloud9?
I am most wonderful. You don't have to call me Cloud9. I'm
Uh,
Grandma.
Well, you know I'll change names for you probably like 25 times because
That's
it's
fine.
just what I end up
Y'all
doing.
know me as Grandma. So, everybody, hello, hello. So
Um,
glad to be here.
well, we're glad you're here, and I want everybody to know this is a little bit different. It's Grandma's idea, which is wonderful. She said that with everybody, so people come into the chat a lot and was saying like, hey, like I'm thinking about doing a channel. I want to do something, whatever. And I always try to help out and tell what I know as much as I can because I want them to because I
Right.
think we need good content on YouTube and we don't have it. I think this is the next generation of the television, and
No,
it
most
is
definitely. It
uh,
is.
it is what it is. And you know
Yeah.
what? I said I wasn't going to do this, but uh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. And the reason
Hello.
why I'm trying to stay out of the chat and not do the hellos like I try. I love doing
No, say hello
is
to everybody.
well. I know this is we've got this set up that this will be a forever stream. Like this is something that we're hoping that anybody can come back to and
Right. But you
learn
can
what we
still
know.
say hello to everybody. You got all these people.
Well, I know. It's anyway, I do like saying, well, okay, I'll tell you what. So everybody has a little thing. I am so honored that people will show up and listen to my
Hmm.
nonsense that it killed me. And I'm like, I have said hello. Like Miami Spice, how are you doing? She was the very first person to leave a comment. And also one of her comments I pinned at the top. Texas Jen, we've been following each other around today on YouTube and didn't even realize it. Um, Tumult, how are you doing? Jim with no filter. I think, should I be concerned that she says hi, ladies? Merv
Maybe
says,
she's
how
talking
are,
about other people in the chat.
I don't know. How are you doing? Shenanigans, welcome here. I'm glad to see you. Uh, Talking trash, how are you doing? Uh, Keith Gregory, what's up? Feral Housewife, another one. We've been chasing each other around YouTube all day today. Um, Let's see, did I miss somebody here? The White
She's like,
Rabbit is here. Always,
of
always.
course.
My
We
favorite.
we have to have her.
That's right.
Mhm.
Um, Mike says, hey, expert, hey, Grandma's house. How are you doing, sir?
Hey there, Mike.
Squad Bob's here.
Mhm.
This is a little party. I love this. See, I
That's
don't
why I
think I
said
missed
you
somebody.
gotta say hey to everybody.
I know. So, I found out that a lot of people will watch and don't ever chat.
Right. I do that a lot.
Yeah, that's right. You do.
I do.
You told me about that actually. I
Hmm.
didn't realize that was a
I
big
go into
thing.
a lot of different streams, and y'all don't even know I'm there. I'm supporting. A lot of times I can't talk, and I'm multitasking. A lot of times I just go in, I look and see who's there, and I click like and stay for a little bit long enough for the person to get, that view, get that credit, and then I have to head out. But at least I'm there and I'm supporting. And that's a lot. It's a big deal. Just to click, spend 30 seconds in a stream, click like, and then get out if you can't stay. But at least when you do that, you're still supporting that channel. You don't have to be there for the whole entire time unless you can and want to, then do it.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of the stuff is these streams are very long sometimes,
Right.
and um, it serves a purpose, and it's like I for me it's talk radio. So
Mm-hmm.
like when I'm driving, I have it on, and then I get to my destination, I've got to turn it off, and
Right.
then if it's
I do
still on
that
when I come
too.
back, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome. By the way, hello Wolfkinder, how are you doing? I just saw Past just enter the chat. How are you doing,
Yep, I saw
Past?
pass.
I was thinking about you last night. Um, anyway, so we want to if you are thinking about starting a channel, I remember when I first started. Do you remember yours? Your first grandpa?
Absolutely, and that was a while ago.
How many years ago was
7,
grandma's house? 7
7
years ago.
years.
So you
7
are
years
old
since I
school.
uploaded my first video. So, like with my ASMR channel, I had it a year before I uploaded. So, if you look, it says that I've had it longer than I actually have. But my grandma's house, I started it and I had no clue what I was doing. And I didn't have a wonderful community like we have here. So I just kind of had to figure it out on my own. I was like, this YouTube thing, what is that? I
Hmm.
did it because of a bet I had with my children and my nephews. Because I was looking at it going, this YouTube thing, y'all can make money, and they were in high school and stuff. And my nephews, they were missionaries in Mexico. My sister's family was in Mexico as missionaries, and so they were homeschooled and they were in the backyard making little videos. And I was like, put them on YouTube. And my son's a gamer, and I was like, turn on the camera while you're gaming. You can put it out there. People will watch you. He was like, no, they won't. My daughter was in high school and a girl, and I was like, you can do makeup, you can do clothes, you can. That's when vlogging was huge. That
Hmm.
was the thing, was vlogging. And I was like, you can do vlogging and everybody at school will join, follow you, because I didn't know the ins and outs. And I just thought, like most people, that it's about subscribers and following
Hmm.
everybody. And I was like, you can do that and you'll have all these people and you can make money. And they're
And
like, no,
nobody
you
could give
can't.
on it.
Yeah, and I was like, they're like, "You can't make money, mom." I was like, "I'll show you." I'm just this old woman. I didn't have
So you did it on a dare,
children. Yeah, I didn't have
basically.
children that were cute that everybody would want to watch. Who wants to watch an old woman do? No, nobody. But teaching and children have always been my heart. So I was like, okay, go with that. You start with
Hmm.
what you like. If you don't like it, you forget about it because you'll get burned out in a moment and it's done. And then what? Or if it takes off, now you're stuck doing something that you don't like. It's just
Hmm.
like a regular job. If you don't like it, then you're going to get it burned out and you're not going to want to do it. So I did
And
it on a bet. And here we go. 7 years later, this is my job. And I have multiple channels now.
now that is something that I want to also wrap up at the end of our talk about the multiple channel thing. Real quick, I want to say hi. I saw Lady Sky came in here. Lefty Lulz came in here. Lefty's another one been following around on YouTube today. Awesome person. Um, oh, Jenny's here. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be making some cookies and uploading for you, expert. Appreciate that. Um, Shenny is a big supporter, big fan of our buddy Ozzy Overlord, and I'm honored for you to grace us with your presence. I'm so glad you're here. And then there was I don't know. I think I've said, "Hey, Cool Frog, how are you doing, buddy?" Actually, Cool Frog is funny. He was probably the first person I knew on the tubes. And yeah, how are you? Um, so see, besides my squirrel addiction, where I get lost in the chat and saying hi to people and all that other stuff.
I'm just going to say I see everybody. So I'm not going to say hello to everybody, but I do see and hello to all.
Well, that's another thing to talk about is stream etiquette. So that's the I've been on several streams. It's um yes, you are a big, huge billboard for Ozzy. Been on several streams and lately where I feel like I'm out of place if I'm watching their chat because the people that are there, there for them. And hey, excited utterance, how are you?
Not
And
necessarily, because I mean, people talk to you in the chat. People are, this is your stream. They're saying hello to
but I
me.
want when y'all come over, if y'all follow me somewhere, Like,
Mhm.
and that's a hard thing for me to do is like I'll see like you'll see me smile, and you have to think to yourself, oh, I said the goofy thing,
Right.
and
That's why I
I'm
usually
trying to
just
get better.
go.
Hey, Jamie, how are you? I'm trying to get
Yeah.
better with it, typing into the chat and stuff,
Mhm.
uh, but with I don't like being that guest that seems distracted. If somebody is kind enough to
No, I
invite
get
me on their
that.
channel, I want them to have 100% of my attention.
Right.
And because
I do
they see
that.
something, they see something in me that I don't see in myself. Like I don't want to talk to me, much like
Well, we
how
don't
I
wanna
got
talk to you
started.
either, but, we're
Well,
being nice.
yeah, no. Well, that's how it got started. The White Rabbit. It was the whole shutdown and everything during the pandemic, and White Rabbit was tired of hearing me talk
We
all the
understand.
time because I'm just like this when the camera's off. And so she got me a microphone, said, "Here you go." Oh yes, shenanigans. If you go to the description, down at the bottom of it, there is a link to Cloud9 ASMR.
That's the one I'm
Like
pushing right now. I do have my
yes,
big channel is Grandma's House, and it's
it was like
the
ninety
name is
thousand.
Grandma's House Fun. But that kinda takes care of itself unless you have
Hey
children and you
Lex.
want or grandchildren and you wanna listen have your kids listen to me read them books. That's what I do there. I just read books. Actually, I don't I mean, that's what I did. I haven't uploaded there in a very long time. But right now I'm pushing my SMR channel. Had one I had Wood Soup went out at 8 o'clock tonight, so go watch that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wait
Yeah.
a second. I just realized, Jamie. Yeah, when you said you're leaving your eyelash appointment, I was on Michigan Law Show's stream with her, and so she got her eyelashes done, and it was, I don't know. I wasn't on the show when
That's
she was
cool.
talking about that. I was like, oh, like that's an interesting thing because White Rabbit and I have talked about that. So you guys
Think
see,
she could have a channel about her eyelashes.
you
You could
can,
do that.
you can,
Yeah.
you
Fingernails,
can have
all that
you'd be a
stuff.
blithering idiot, and you can do some level of
Dude,
success here.
everything.
Uh,
We're gonna get to that. Thank you,
well,
Jen.
so once you decide you want to go, you want to do it. Like yours was on Dare, mine was over a threat. Um, we have
Wanting to
people.
keep your marriage.
Yeah, I still do. That's the whole point of being here. it's this, that's the whole point
This
of
is
being here.
better. This is the best marriage counseling right
Oh
here.
gosh,
Go to your room and talk to other people
guys!
and
I hope
take
you
the
join
dog
me
with
tomorrow
you.
night for Friday Night Live at 9 p.m. It's usually a fun show.
It is. It's a
Where
blast.
the White Rabbit will be there.
Yep.
But anyway, where you can see her make fun of me. Um, some people, a lot of people here, they know Valhalla awaits. And he is an anomaly to me in the YouTube world because he has a lot of followers before he ever had a video up.
Right.
And I was just like blown away by that. I'm like, how do you do that? And then he started going on streams.
Hmm.
And I was like, how do you know people to go on streams and stuff? And he hangs out in chats, and he
The
is a
same way I got on here. How did I get on your channel?
there was probably nobody else in the
I
chat,
no,
and
I
I
was
was like,
in the
oh,
chat and I was just listening and I felt comfortable in the chat and it was just a good community. I'm not into the drama. There wasn't any. We were talking about Guava Ball and I was like, "Oh, he was on vacation and everybody thought he was like, he died. What's wrong with Guava Ball? He's missing." And I
I
thought,
heard
"Oh
he
my
did.
goodness, they're really concerned about this band." They weren't, but I was like, oh, wow, they're concerned. And I really started getting where I started, and I didn't say anything. I was just watching, and I noticed everybody in the chat kind of talking back and forth. And it was this big family. And I was like, oh, wow, And so then I started talking to you, and you realized that I have this big channel, and so you started asking me questions, and then I got on your stream, and the rest is history, and here we are. And that's why I wanted to help. I wanted to do this stream because everybody has their thing, and people will be in the chat going, "Oh, this is fun. I'd really like to do that." Or, "I want to do a channel, but I don't know what to do." And so some of you want to, and you're thinking, "Oh, I want to get monetized." And some of them are, or some of you are like, "Well, I really don't want to do that, but I want to have a channel. But what do I talk about?" Hey, Melissa, what do I talk about? What do I do? Where do I start? And that's why I wanted to do this, because it starts in the chat. It starts in the chat. That's how he
It's,
got his followers.
and you know that's really weird how you say that. I mean, not how you say that, but what you're talking about for me is weird because what I've noticed is that this chat is a chat all of its own. Like I have somehow Pied Piper this great group of people here that they come in and you guys you go to the same streams. You may not even realize it, but you're following the same people. You're seeing the
Right.
same stuff. It's like you know you have. I love having people on. I love being on people's channels. It's and we are creating our own algorithm, but it's
Hmm.
this chat mine specifically that I'm so impressed with, and so many people tell me this, and I feel like a proud parent. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so taken away when they say you've got the greatest chat ever. It's a safe place,
It's
and
fact.
I'm like, what? And I've asked before, what do you mean by safe? Like, are they pulling out knives and clubs and what
No,
have you
that's
at
what I
our
was
place?
saying. I felt comfortable when I came into your chat because there wasn't this drama. There weren't people bashing each other. It was just it's like, I describe it as when people say I'm nervous about going on stream and talking to people.
Hmm.
And I describe it as you're sitting in your living room with a group of friends and you're just talking. And that's how it is on the panels that you have. And that's how it is in the chat. In the chat, it's a group of people who are getting together, and you may never see that person on a screen, but you see their names, you see their avatars pop up, because you even like, "Oh, I recognize the avatar." In fact,
Hmm.
he doesn't
Yes,
recognize my avatar unless it's grandma's house.
that's
If I
true.
come in as ASMR, he has no clue. I can say anything I want and he doesn't notice it. But if I come in as grandma's house, he's like, "Oh, there's grandma." But it's the same thing. You start to recognize the people in this chat, and then you go to another channel and you see those people, and then you start talking to them in that chat. And like you said today, you followed each other. There was a few of you that you followed all these different streams. And then somebody will be on that stream. You're like, "Oh, well, he's cool or she's cool. I want to go check out that channel." And then you go over there. And then you start realizing that you're kind of following the same people, and you start supporting each other. And it's a big, as our friend Malloy, Mr. Malloy calls it, a village. That is what it is. It's our own little village here in the YouTube sphere. I love
Um,
it.
I
And
well, I
if
call
you
it the
come
island of
into one
misfit
that you don't
toys.
like, then you just leave.
Yeah.
No harm done. You're just
But
gone.
what's funny is well, of course, the chat here knows me is that it's very easy to get me to talk about what you want me to talk about. And I do. I heard one
Mhm.
time that when you're doing a live stream, you should spend about 80%. You should try to spend 80% of your time with your chat. And I was like, that's impossible. And I do think it's impossible, but that's always been a goal. And so
I
I
think
don't know.
80's really stretching it.
Yeah.
You would spend every moment, especially as you get bigger and you have more people in the chat, you would spend all your time just looking at the chat and not talking about whatever it was that you were there to talk about that day. Because
Uh,
squirrels happen in the chat.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Miami Spice knows me
There
very
you go,
well.
squirrels.
Very
That's
well.
right. Squirrels happen in the chat. They do. You would get off
Um,
topic.
so, okay, the very first thing when you do a channel, okay, you have something you want to talk about. What brought you to grandma's house? What was how did you know that at first?
No,
It
I
was trial and error.
and the book thing, I didn't come into it. First, I knew I was like, okay, I've got to prove to my kids and my nephews that I ain't crazy. So I was like, okay, what is it that I'm passionate about? What can this old lady, bring to the table? Okay, kids. Kids are my heart. Always have been, always will be. So I'm like, okay, kids needs to be kid related. So then I thought about, okay, so what about? I don't have little kids. So, like I said, the vlogging thing was big. I don't have kids to film. I don't have that. My kids are, grown. I don't have a family situation that I can record. So I'm also teacher minded. So I was like, okay, I went on and I was like, kids. And I just looked at all kinds of children related videos. And I saw people doing things. I'm like, what? They're playing with Barbie dolls and they're just making them talk and all that. And I'm like, millions of views. And I'm like, are you joking? This is blowing my mind. And then I saw people doing puzzles. And all you would see is the person putting puzzles together or somebody
That's a
coloring
good
or
one. I didn't think about that.
I did puzzles. I did puzzles. Some vlogging with my niece who was young at the time, and I would take her and we would
Was
do
this all
vlogging that way.
on one
I
channel?
it it's all there.
Okay.
It is on grandma's house right now. And so I just kind of tried different things that I saw that other very successful YouTubers, children YouTuber, or I should say children channel YouTubers were
Hmm.
doing. And I was like, okay, try that. And I tried a little bit of everything. I did magic cloths where you take them and you put them in the water. And I had this girl that did music and she said, you can use my music. And so I did her music and I did the magic cloths. And all you see is this magic cloth and it's in water and it's opening up and then I open it up and show you what it is and that's it. And I did that all kinds of stuff. I did Elf on the Shelf and we went everywhere with the elf. The elf took it boating. I mean, I did all kinds of stuff. And books is what stuck. But now a lot of the books people use music, they do animation where they have the page moving around and all that. And okay, first of all, I didn't have the equipment. I wasn't a librarian. I wasn't a teacher. And a lot of these bigger channels had a staff. They had all this. And I'm like, I don't have that. And nor could I afford to get all of that stuff. Now I have the mic and I have the
Yeah.
monitors and I have all that stuff, but I didn't at first. And you don't have to. You have a cell phone, you can make a video. But I
So
just started doing books and that's what stuck. You don't even see me. You see the page of a book and you hear me read. And that's it.
so you, the big thing that I take away from all that is that you can evolve. Once you start your channel, you can
Yes.
evolve. The main thing is it's getting out there and doing it.
Right, I had to
And
learn. I didn't have anybody to teach me. I mean, I did go and listen to all the big gurus who, talk about YouTube. So I did learn about how to promote and how to get views and all of that, which things, as everybody knows, YouTube, it evolves, it changes their rules, it changes algorithms, it changes all that stuff and it will continue to change, which is kind of, infuriating. But you don't have to start with a whole big thing. Start with your phone. Phones now
well,
are incredible.
that's what I was gonna say. So like me, it's funny because I remember the people I was listening to. It was Nerdrotic. It was Ethan Van Sciver, Geeks and Gamers. Let's see, what's the other one? John Talks and what's the Australian guy?
There's a bunch.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Well, it's funny because like it changed. Like in through them, I found like Yellow Flash, the Umbrella Guy,
Right,
um, uh, and then like Nick Ricada and Nick.
right,
His story kind of hit to me because the law school connection, the
right.
lawyer thing,
Mhm.
and I was like, it seems much more fun to be on YouTube. It seemed like a cool thing.
Right.
So so all these ideas are going through my head because I really got involved. It was like when uh a couple of movies was like Captain Marvel or something like
Mhm.
that, and the Avengers. The last Avengers was the Endgame was coming out, and all of a sudden, like people were getting really upset with the way the movies were being. It's like their
Oh,
childhood
yeah.
was being destroyed and all this stuff,
Well, it
and
was.
those channels started just taking off. And I'll
Right.
never forget the very first thing I heard. It was Neurotic was talking about how uh, the very first thing about being on YouTube is being on YouTube. And he
You
said
have to start.
he said you have a phone, you have everything you need to be a creator. And it was like I was mowing the yard. That's the all this. The only memory I have is either mowing the yard or walking the blue dog because she was driving me nuts. Um, and so it's like I was like, oh man, it's like using your phone. And you start thinking about like what you have to do. And I can't work on a phone. Like it just my mind it does better with a computer and stuff. Now I'm not saying that everybody has to do that, but
Right.
that was the best advice I heard before I got going.
Well,
The
even if
second thing,
you aren't about the phone, which most everybody has a phone that, I mean, nowadays everybody has a phone. And so that's the easiest thing. You have a phone, you click record. And with YouTube, they have an app. You can record it, you can edit it, you can upload it all right there. You can get all your stats, you can see everything you need right there on your phone. You don't even have to have a computer. But like if for you, if you're more comfortable with a computer, it's still easy. Even if it's just a laptop, you don't have to have a big whole setup. I mean, I got 3 monitors and all this stuff. You don't have to have all that. If you have a laptop, I have a Chromebook, little teeny tiny thing I got for $50. I was sitting out on my porch talking to expert here, and I was on my Chromebook, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just got this new thing, and it was
she was
great."
thrilled
Yeah,
she just got it, and
fifty
I called
bucks.
her on I called her through Discord, and she'd never been called through Discord yet.
I was like,
And she's
"Oh,
like, I can answer that through here. So it was cool
wow,
because
yeah,
that was my experience too. Like I wasn't there's so many different venues and things that you can try out. So the main thing is staying focused. And when you I say stay focused, for me it doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be the conversation. It doesn't have to be the content.
right,
God knows I can't keep up with either one. But what you have to stay focused to is your channel. And so your channel, and this was came from John Talks, and he was really small at the time. And he said the number one thing he, as far as like having any growth, having any success, was for him was he started doing some things, he wasn't seeing stuff, and he said one day he made himself a promise that he would put out one video a day,
mhm,
and so that's what he did. And the YouTube videos, so you start getting into all the algorithm stuff and the numbers and everything else. I'm going to tell you guys right now that everybody will tell you something different.
yeah, because I
Don't
wouldn't
believe it.
advise that.
Yeah,
What
what
you
you
just
need
said, I don't advise that.
about doing a video a day.
Mm-mm. No, not because not because of any other reason except for you will get burned out so fast. I mean, you will. You be going, "I have to do a video. I have to do a video." And you're like, there'll be days when you don't wanna do a video. And so don't.
And that's what
I
happened to
say
me.
I say, yeah, that's why I kept saying, "Why are you doing this? You're driving yourself crazy. Take a break. It's fine." What I suggest is whether you it doesn't matter whether you do live streams or if you do videos like I do or, vlogging or whatever it is, shorts, whatever. Shorts is a whole different another thing, which I'll talk about that later. But whatever you do need to be consistent and at least once a week. That kind of puts it out there so that YouTube sees, okay, that person's consistent. The channel is putting out content once a week. Twice a week is great, but you don't have to do any more than twice a week. If you do it twice a week, every week, that's consistent. If you can't do that, you do it once a week. That's only 52 videos or 52 live streams. That's not that much.
Well,
52. And
the
if you
one
do 52 once a week, YouTube is going to see you as a consistent content creator.
Now, the one thing I will say is that when you start, see, you can't stream at the very beginning.
Right.
So you have to do videos and they can't be longer than 15 minutes.
Hmm.
So it gives you that limit. And when I first started doing videos, you should have seen how hard of a time I had keeping them below 15 minutes.
That's not that
Now, when I
hard.
have a video, I have a hard time getting to 8 minutes. And 8 minutes is a magic number simply because they can put an ad in the
Ads.
middle. And that
Yeah.
is going to be the only thing that matters. I
Right.
want you to keep in your mind that this is a business. Even though it might be fun for you, it's your hobby, it's your quilting channel, it's your, how to grow corn in the wintertime out in your bathtub. I mean, who knows? There's so many different things out there. Uh, but for this is a business
Hmm.
for Google, and they
That's who pays my bills.
last quarter
Google.
was the first quarter where they did not have an increase in revenue.
Hmm.
And so that now I've started to see where you get this gut feeling, I do at least, of how things are turning and changing and stuff. And hey, Clumsy, how are you? Uh, and what when you put up like your thumbnails, your title, and your description, they like it to all kind of mesh together. This is, and
Hmm.
again, this is just a personal thing, and it has to be advertiser friendly. So
That's the
when
big thing right there.
that's why I
Advertiser
say is
friendly.
PG-16 is my channel, and
Yes.
everybody will tell you, oh no, it doesn't matter. After 2 hours, you can cuss or you can just. It doesn't say that anywhere. I haven't found that anywhere where YouTube or Google's
No.
conditions say, hey, you can do whatever you want to after 2 hours. It's not true. I mean, you can fast forward. It's a 24-hour time schedule. They're talking about this content's going to last forever.
Ever.
Um,
Hmm.
I have a video I did. The last time I looked at it, it was like, oh, this is the best video I've ever done. It has 100 views. Now it's got like 6,700. And it's about a subject I talked about one time.
Right.
And it's the craziest thing in the world. And I was like, oh, I really should do another video on that. I should talk about this person. Yeah, I
No.
never do it.
Just leave it
Isn't that
alone.
sad?
Well,
It's
that people will watch that other. My grandma's house, when so things have changed. Before they wanted you to do more longer content. Now they're saying they want more short. They're going to change back and forth. It's just gonna. That's just the way they are. But my videos are usually, 8, 10 minutes, and it was so hard for me to get my watch time to my 4,000 watch hours because all my books are short. They're kids' books.
mhm.
So 15 minutes is long. So I'm doing 3-minute videos of a book. 15 minutes is that's a long children's book. And
Yeah.
so it took me a long time to get all my watch hours and stuff. Now that's what they want you to do. But at the time when I was doing that, they wanted you to make an hour. That's what they wanted. They wanted an hour worth of a video.
Oh,
So,
really?
so so it changes. Right now, they're wanting shorter content, and then they'll go back to we want longer content. It's just the way it is. It's always changing. They're
Mhm.
always, with TikTok and all of that stuff. And that's when they started wanting you to do shorts. because now they're competing with the TikTok because everybody was going over and watching that, and people will have a shorter, they can't watch it for very long. So they're like, okay, if we can get these little things out there. And I will say, shorts, they push, and you can get subscribers, you can get more subscribers coming off of your shorts. You just need to make sure that those shorts have something to do with your channel. And then you have to have long content. You can't there are plenty of channels out there that are just shorts. That's all they
Hmm.
are, just like TikTok. But unless you have things that go viral, dear, it's not going to be a super successful channel
Well,
because
and
and
that's
it'll be all over the place because just to have one thing, you can't do that. Oh, that's another
uh,
thing. When you're looking for something that you wanna do, you do not have to have one type of content. So, you don't have to do like grandma's house. I started doing one thing and then I added another and I added another, and then I just figured out, oh, okay, so the books are what take it are taken off. ASMR. ASMR, it's not just what people think of as ASMR. It's anything that has to do with relaxation, sleeping. I have sounds, the soundscapes.
mhm.
I had that other channel that they won't monetize because it's not different enough, whatever that means, but that's fine. I'm just not going to let them make money off of that. And every Saturday, I take one of those videos and I move it over to ASMR. It's not ASMR, it's literal music to sleep to or to meditate to. I have affirmations on there. I mean, so I'm taking that content and I'm moving it over. So when people are at are on ASMR channel, they have other things. It's not just ASMR triggers. So you
See, that's
don't have to stay in a niche. You can put whatever you want. It's your channel.
but I would warn that keep that in mind, but at the beginning, focus on what it is that you started with, or and let me excuse me, let me rephrase that. Not what you started with, but just on your channel. Instead of like, because it's hard to keep up with multiple
Oh, well,
channels
I'm
and
not
stuff like
talking
that.
about multiple channels. I'm saying
Okay.
if you are starting a channel, one
Hmm.
channel, I'm different because I
Yeah.
have been doing this for a very long time, and I have had other channels that I've either stopped doing and it's not there anymore, or like my positive minds, I'm moving over because they won't monetize. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you if you want to have a channel and you're like, well, I don't have a niche. I'm not a teacher, or I'm not into politics, or I'm passionate about three different things and I don't know which one to do. You don't have to choose. You can make a playlist of your political view, stuff. You can have a playlist of, doing makeup or cooking, or
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be a channel with one thing. It's called layering. You have, your basic, grandma's house. Well, we'll just use ASMR because that's a really easy one to think about. So I have ASMR, and that was what I'm like. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to do your ASMR triggers and that kind of stuff. But then I also I'm like, okay, well, I want people to be able to relax and sleep. So I'm going to do soundscapes. Well, that's not really ASMR as far as the triggers, but it doesn't have to be. So I layer that. So now I have that. And then I have the music and I layer that and I have that. So now there's actually three different things on that one channel.
Hmm.
So you don't have to have an actual niche that you have to be stuck in. And if I decide, oh, I want to add, like I'm going to do slime, okay, I can add that.
Yeah.
I can add whatever I want to. It's my channel. There's no rules as far as what you post. You post what makes you happy.
Real quick, I want to interrupt you or change the
Okay.
topic here real quick because I have been watching this chat, and it's funny. Feral Housewife. Today I saw on her channel she had 96 subs, and I was in my mind I was like, oh man, I love getting people over milestones,
Oh,
and I mean
I sub to her.
everybody who's a regular knows that I love having
Hmm.
you on or doing a push. Be like, hey, let's get subs up for this person, and I was
Yep.
like, oh, we can get 100 for her tonight. And while we've been talking, she's the chat. And
Did
this
you
is what
get
I'm
it?
talking about. How wonderful the chat is, and this is why. And I mean, it goes on with me. Like this is why I have memberships. This is why I do the Discord conversations. This is why I try to be involved as much as you guys want me to be, because this. I mean, look how awesome you guys are. So we got Feral Housewife is now over 100, and then Shenanigans. I didn't even know she had a channel.
No.
And look at this. This is popping up, and so
Yay!
she's going, and I'm just like, this is
I
so
love
awesome.
that.
I absolutely love watching you guys
Hmm.
talking to each other, getting stuff going, and then look, here is Feral Housewife is asking White Rabbit about the Fourth of July stream I did, uh, because the bot thing. So yes, actually, I'm going to put that on podcast, the entire thing, but I took it down because I want to cut out that.
Oh, that spot.
Well, I want to cut out where I I really liked my rant at the beginning, my
Oh,
Independence Day rant. So I was gonna
I
put
heard
that
it.
up, and that's something. So like cutting streams up, that is a good way also once you get to streaming of doing extra content and getting those videos out because
Right.
not only should you, I mean, you have to have at least once a week, uh,
Yes.
and but you have to have that consistent. It has to be at this time on this day, blah blah. Our a friend of mine who she's been taking a break from YouTube, Tish from Tennessee. She has a wonderful channel. She does
I love her.
Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, and
Hmm.
she has a guest on and asks him 10 questions,
Hmm.
and then it's over. And it is so cool. She's just absolutely great at it, and um,
Picking a time is a big
awesome.
deal because your people will start to go like we know that expert here he he streams at 9 Eastern. So at 9 Eastern, no matter what it is I'm doing, I'm like, oh, expert streaming. So I just do 8 o'clock, whatever it is. It's 8 o'clock Eastern, and I since I don't do streaming, I do my videos and I can schedule them out. And so I don't have to be around and I don't have to be paying attention at 8 o'clock. It just goes out and it's just done.
Mhm.
But when you do something, whatever time you pick, sometimes like with grandma's house, I don't do it at night. I do it at 9 o'clock in the morning because I've got kids that are waking up and it's a good time. And then I have schools that use me. And so it's coming available when school's starting. And so I do it at, I do it early in the morning for grandma's house. So you have to just think about the people
I sure
who
do.
are going to be watching your stream or your channel. What time are they usually around? When are they going to be? When's a good time? And then you can adjust it, and try and kind of figure it out. But once you figure it out, stay at that time. No matter what, just stay at that time. And if you miss it, it's not the end of the world. You just do it an hour later. I've had to do that because something happened and something didn't upload right or whatever. I mean, you've had that, issues
So,
and you
well,
just go a little bit later.
here's what's funny. So, okay, there are two very popular programs that everybody will suggest you get. And it's vidIQ
Hmm.
and
Too buddy.
TubeBuddy.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that so I have both of those. I don't have the paid ones because I don't use them that much because I
Yeah, I
just
have paid for both of them,
see I
but I
like.
use them on all my stuff. So it
Well,
helps me.
it's funny. Natalie, how are
You don't
you?
have to.
Um, well, what's funny about it is that I'm just I'm I'm the worst YouTuber in the world because I'm not a
You're not.
consistent one trick pony person. Everything. If you are, I got this from Valhalla, and I hate it because it described me so perfectly, and he wasn't trying to. But if you are passionate about something, I
Mhm.
want to hear your story and I want to talk about it. And then, of course, I also love current events, breaking news. Those are some of my favorite streams. Those are just all that stuff is way all over the place. So yeah, I don't fit
But
into
that's
any
different.
of them.
It's like when something is news breaking and you like it and you jump on, we know as your viewers, okay, something is going down, expert's going to have it. And we all go to your stream because we know that you're going to be there if there's anything happening. So if we get an alert on that you're going live, in the middle of the day when it's not normal, we all go watch it because we know, okay, he has something cool to say. Even if you're just making fun of, the cheese thing, it doesn't matter.
The
It's
cheese wheel.
cool. Oh, I loved it. I was like, oh, my, he's alive. He's live. We got to go watch this. And then I'm like, really? Okay. Well, that's kind of stupid, but it's really cool and funny. And that's cool too.
And
So
this
in the
is
moment is good.
eh, I
Yeah,
love
we do.
spontaneous. I
He's
love it.
right. She's right.
And what Miami Spice is saying here, I love when we do breaking news. So if it breaks, if it's something big, man, and I hit it, and you guys now this is another chat thing, and this is I know we wanted to start to talk about like how to get your channel created, and I've gone past that to we're talking about chat people, it seems like so much, but it's such an
It's okay.
important thing. I
Mhm.
think this is for like mid level channels. Once you start going and you start seeing some progress and stuff, your chat is a reflection of you. And when there is something, a breaking news event, you guys, all of you guys come rushing over here. If you got something new to say, you hit it. And if the greatest moment,
Yep.
it was for me as a streamer was the abduction and unfortunate finding her passed away of Eliza Fletcher, the
Right.
woman, the billionaires in Memphis. And we were breaking news before the national news had it. And that is
Yeah.
the coolest thing. I went to bed on Saturday night, and when I woke up Sunday morning, other I saw like what is like Fox News, Associated Press, stuff like that were covering things that we had covered
Already
and
done.
we had broken. We had gotten the maps done.
Yep.
We were following the cameras of where the guy went to, the exits and everything. I mean, we really say we. It was so much of the chat, and so that's an
Mhm.
amazing thing on itself. But that's not going to happen when you first start. I
No.
had Okay, what is today? Today's the 6th. July 8th is the day last year that I got eligible for monetization. Monetization for me meant 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Showers. Mhm.
I've got like 30,000 watch hours. I had when I got monetized, I had like 7,000 watch hours. I mean, because I put out, if I want to say I was at like 950 videos when I got monetized. I had
Wow.
almost 1,000. I had almost a video for every person. I've got 1,250 plus now.
Wow.
I crossed the 1250 mark, but that's me
And see,
slowing
you've got
down and
way
becoming
more
mostly a streamer.
videos. You got way more videos than I do have videos on grandma's house.
That's that's so crazy. That's so crazy to think.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah. So yeah. It's
It's
oh hey
different
boss son,
though.
how are
It's
you?
totally it's not even the same because I don't live stream at all. And
Mm-hmm.
children's channels are now, before when I started, you did have comments, but then YouTube got in trouble with monetizing children's channels, and that's a whole big thing. But so now with children's channels, there's no comments. You can't do notifications. That's when they stop doing the thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing. You can't see how many thumbs downs you get. You can only see how many thumbs ups. Um, and it doesn't matter, by the way, what it counts as the same thing. So it really doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
literally on mine
it's
turned them into
interaction.
a poll. Yeah. Thumbs up meant
Yeah.
this and thumbs down meant that because it didn't matter which one it goes. YouTube sees it as the same.
You know what's
But
funny about that?
yeah,
I've noticed that exact same thing on articles now.
it doesn't
It'll say,
matter.
"Do you like this article?" You know, and there's a thumbs up and thumbs down. And if it's an article about like a tragedy, people automatically put thumbs down. And I'm like, but wait a
Right.
second, it was a really good article,
But
you
they
know,
don't
about
like
a
what
subject
happened.
that amazes me, and so that should be a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interaction thing. It's a
That's all it
click.
is.
It's part of a
Yeah.
metric that they collect about all of us,
Right.
and they collect to sell their because they honestly advertisers still don't understand. Uh,
Thank you, Clumsy.
Advertisers still don't understand how the internet works.
Right.
Because there are ad blockers. Oh, by the way, which YouTube's now going to start blocking you if you use an ad blocker. This is a perfect example, though, right here. Super chat. So this is the good thing. This is I'm coming up on 1 year of having this first expert live. I thought he was a true crimer because when I got started, I did true
Yeah.
crime, and it
Yeah.
was. It's not a fun. They're not fun.
It's hard.
Uh, you know. And thank you so much, Clumsy.
A lot
And
of true crimers will tell you they get burned out. They have to take a month off. They'll pre-do their videos and stuff. The big ones usually don't live stream, like, really. They'll tell their story or whatever because it is very difficult. It's very difficult. Even a lot of the, like, they call it law tube, whatever. They they have to pace themselves with that because it can be really hard when that's all you're covering. It gets really down on your soul when
I've
that's all you do.
I've talked to people that have talked to Nick Ricada, and they said that he went on like a 9 day vacation, and he
Yeah,
was
you have
about
to.
fried before he left, and
Mhm.
he's just come back and it's so much more clear head and everything.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do when that's all you're talking about is negative stuff and bad things. So if you do choose that, I love true crime. I listen to it all the time. But if you do that, if you decide that's something that you want to talk about, that's great, and I'll listen. But also do other stuff so that it gets so hard. Or if that's all you want to do, that's fine. Just make sure that you work into your schedule where you can take a mental break, because if
And
you
burnout's a
don't,
big
it'll be
thing.
hard. It's really bad.
Also, Ozzy Overlord, he said that he was having a hard time
Yeah.
coming up with content every day that he thought his listeners would enjoy.
Mhm.
And I told oh, awesome. Thank you, Talking Trash and Truth, for gifting 5 memberships. Y'all, make sure that you
Thank
are signed up
you.
to accept memberships. And I am part of the YouTube partnership program. Is I've linked a Discord with the memberships. So as a member, we do movies on Sunday nights. I do a private stream every Friday night. And then after the movie, we go hang out in Discord. We talk about
It's
it. We
fun.
talk about just all sorts of stupid stuff that's, I don't know, just fun.
Whatever.
But thank you so much, Talking Trash and Truth. You are, and by the way, guys, like she's got a channel. You got to check it out. She actually did an amazing video the other day on gaslighting. And
I know a lot about that.
well, it's, yeah, it seems to be a very popular thing. That and narcissism are two
Know a
topics
lot
that
about
are
that too. That's
popping
why
up
I
a
had to
lot.
get a restraining order on a certain person. And also why I took down one of my YouTube channels was because of that certain person. So,
Uh,
anyway.
Grim saying, stop and take a look next time you're scrolling through YouTube on mobile. Bet you can't make it more than 7 videos between ads. Then you have to watch an ad after you finally see a video you want. It's the best $13 a month is YouTube
Yes.
Premium. I can't do
Yeah.
the ads.
Um, so what they say with the ads is that YouTube plays an ad every 7 minutes. So you can get an ad every 7 minutes. So if you're scrolling, like you were just saying, if you're scrolling and you're going from video to video, there are going to be videos where you don't get an ad or shorts or whatever, which they put ads on that too, because that's all business. They're going to make their money. They do that every 7 minutes. You're going to get an ad, whether you're watching that same thing or not. So it's it, it's money. It's money, but premium, yes. The only thing I don't like about premium is on the other side of it. I don't make as much money off of and I know what they said. Oh, support the creators and yeah. Okay, no. I make way less money off of people who have premium than I do off of people who are just watching normally. So,
See, you get
but I
huge
still say get
views.
it because
Yeah.
I don't wanna watch ads. I
Yeah,
have
you
it.
get huge view counts.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of
Yeah, like
views.
those numbers don't matter, really matter to me.
That is what matters,
Um,
is your views, not your
real,
subscribers.
well, I mean
Get your 1,000 and then don't worry about it.
the advertising numbers, they don't
Yeah,
matter to me because like it's
it's
still so
views.
small.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to go back to is so you're starting a channel. One of the things that people don't realize, and this is something that YouTube's gotten better at, I think, because when I started, I got 500 subs. I was so excited. I did a 12-hour stream, live stream, and it was the longest. I was like, man, this is great. I was just like, this is gonna be so cool. Then I got a community tab, and I was like,
Mhm.
well, what is this? And I was like, well, I wish I'd known that this is so cool. And I was like, I would have used this as like a Twitter to communicate with it more and everything. I need to use it more. First of all, I know that. But I don't use as much as I would like to because you only get so many notifications sent out by YouTube a day, which it doesn't matter because no matter what I do on my account, I get zero notifications. So I
Not
should
bad.
just not worry about it and just say, "Hey, I'll be on at 9." Guys, I'll see you then. But by the way,
That's
did
why
you see
being
this?
consistent
Yeah,
matters. Yeah.
yeah, and you can talk about something that matters to you. And what I like is you can separate with your membership and your uh, uh, just general chat. But
You can do polls too.
they started all this stuff. Now you don't have to have as many subscribers. You don't have to have as many hours. You need some like 500 subscribers now,
Oh,
and
okay.
3,000 hours to be able to take super chats and super stickers.
Right.
Um, and that is awesome. They're making it easier than it's ever been.
Yeah, like
Um,
ASMR, I've got over 1,000 subscribers, but I haven't. I'm short on my. I'm close, but
Hours.
I'm still short on my hours. But
Oh
I
wow.
I have the ability to do super chats and some of the other stuff. So I haven't applied for it because I don't do live streams, so it's not really going to affect me. But for those who do, it's good that they kind of lowered that
Hmm.
because it takes so long and it's 365 days consecutive. So it's
Yeah.
always, so that 365 days is always moving. And so, which is good and bad because if you had a really good moment and then you pass it, you can lose that.
I'm getting close to 100 watch hours a day.
That's really good.
So yeah, I'm really amazed. Like I have, you guys watch for an average of 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So don't think I don't think about that. That's an episode of The Simpsons. So,
Okay.
um,
Hey, the Simpsons is very successful. So
that's the goal.
that's right.
But the thing is about promoting your channel. You have a Facebook or you. Oh hey
I
wait,
don't. Well,
Facebook has a new
I don't do that.
social media thing. Are you aware of this?
I don't do the Facebook
It's a
thing.
competitor to Twitter.
I tried
They
actually when I
launched it
first
today.
started. with grandma's house.
Hmm.
I did. I tried to do the Facebook thing, and I was like, no. So I did Twitter, and Twitter was the easiest to get it out there really quick. I didn't have to do really anything. I could do a link from my YouTube over, and now I have a personal Facebook, and I'll throw that out there, and my actual friends and family, they know, and I'm like, here, but
Hmm.
I don't promote it. I did for a little bit. I tried, and I wasn't getting anything from it, so I was like, okay, forget it. So I just
So
kind
what's
of let
funny
it go.
is like I have a Twitter that it was well I was tweeting so much. You know what? I did this social media thing a little overboard. I tweeted so much that I was identified as a robot, and I still am in their system because I applied for monetization on Twitter because I
You
wanted
know.
to do like um, what's that thing called they do over there? It's like just a live podcast deal. I want to start doing that. So it's like a 30-minute a week, and then I can talk about subjects that are taboo on other
Oh yeah,
platforms.
right.
Um, but Twitter is a great thing, to get your stuff out. You have to promote yourself at every opportunity you have, and even if you don't want it as a business, but you want to be successful. And I say
Hmm.
successful is because nobody likes. I I remember talking to somebody not long ago who was very very upset about the whole YouTube experience because she did a live and nobody was there.
I've done
And
that.
and I said, you I've got videos still nobody's ever watched.
I
And I
did
was
some
like,
lives for grandma's house, knowing that the odds of anybody watching it were slim to none, but I did it anyway.
well,
And it's there.
the first time I did a stream, I didn't talk to anybody in the chat. Like I was like, oh well, you got to have people in the chat, and then all of a sudden names started popping up, and I'm like,
You're like, oh,
I got,
people.
it felt like I held White Rabbit's hand for the first time. I was very nervous. I was like,
There were
oh
people looking at me.
yes, and you don't. I started to stutter. I
That's
had
why
that
I
whole
said
butterfly feeling.
you, it's the people in your living room. You have to think about it that way. They're my friends in my living room, and I'm just talking to them. Because if you think about all the strangers out there, or who could see, or the masses, or whatever, then you will get nervous and not know what to do. And then you might not ever do it again.
Yeah,
And you don't want to do that. Just get out there and talk. And I mean, a lot of people don't want to have their faces out there for whatever reason, and that's fine. Now, I will say, if you choose not to, it's harder for people to connect with you. That's why when you decided to turn on your camera, I was like, okay, that's good because now people can connect with you, and it's easier than an avatar. Not
oh yeah,
saying not saying at all that you can't be successful. Look at Tug. Tug
that was my
blew
inspiration.
up
Yellow
because
Flash, him.
yes. I mean, and he never did. And now people, I mean, he's been doxxed and all that, but he still doesn't. I mean, he'll do live and but he doesn't. It's not, the camera's not on him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You don't have to if you don't want to put your face out there. Like I said, for whatever reason, if you don't want to, then you don't have to. Just get out there. Just turn on your camera, make a video. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to have it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if nobody's watching you. There are so many huge, huge mega YouTubers
Hmm.
or just anybody on social media that their first videos are crap, and they're like, it was horrible and nobody was there, and they kept it, and it's still there, and now those videos are just as popular as the newer ones because now they're big and people want to go see how they started.
And you know what? That's funny.
Just keep them out there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I don't know. recently I started seeing what was funny was like one month I was like, I have advertising money, and I was like, how is that happening? Because like I was like, what did I get advertised on? Because so many times I'm demonetized, and also for those of you that want to start, when you hear somebody say demonetize, you can still make money and everything. But what that means is that YouTube tells you you do not fit in the advertiser algorithm. You have screwed
Right.
up, and we are not going to push your channel.
That's why
And
you have to be careful with things that you say, your content. You have to be careful if you are a streamer and you have a panel. You have to be careful of who you bring on and what they're going to say, because they could come on and say things or do things that can hurt you.
mhm.
So you got to kind of take a stand and say, "Hey, look, I don't want this and I don't want that, because I don't want to be demonetized." And then those people need to respect. I mean, because it's all about respect. Those people need to respect. Okay, this person doesn't want me to cuss, or this person doesn't want me to, smoke or have children on or whatever. You have to think
Don't have
about
kids
that.
on because that's a
No,
big dinger right
that
now.
is a big dinger. You don't, I mean, even so, children's channels, that was a big deal that we had to go through, because if you have a child on your channel at all, it's now under children's channel, because you have now put a child's face on there. And so now advertisers have to go with the rules of a children's channel.
I've heard that they're listening for children's voices, and like you're not like if
I don't know about
there's
that,
like
but
there's things
probably.
like people that stream outside, and like in like they'll be like
Yeah.
walking past a park and stuff like that, and you hear children
I don't
playing and stuff.
I don't know if it's that drastic. I know a face, or if you're talking about things about children, like me talking about children's books or whatever. So if you're talking about things that have to do with children, or you have a child on your video or stream or whatever, then it goes into, because the YouTube people are out there watching. Even, I mean, they've got their bots that are picking up things. They've got actual people who are watching. So there is a channel that was recently, I'm not even going to get into all that, but that was taken down because of multiple things that had been happening previously, and somebody was watching and something happened and immediately bang, it was gone. And it can happen even if it's not you yourself. So, like, let's just say expert here has me on here, and I'm just going "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and I'm just dropping every no word in the YouTube kingdom here, and he doesn't tell me to cut it out, or he doesn't drop my feed. He doesn't boot me. Well, now that's on him. And I could be the reason he gets demonetized or loses his channel. And that's just disrespect. So you need to, if you are going to be on a panel of anybody's, you just need to be
Yeah,
extra careful with the words that come out of your mouth and the things that are happening in your world, in your side.
and Leby just came in. Another great chatter. Love this guy. And he's saying, "Have you gone over technical stuff like equipment and stream services, etc.?" Excuse me.
Not really.
So
Talked
no,
about TubeBuddy and vidIQ. That's all.
but I want to get to that, some of
And
the
a
more
phone.
advanced stuff before we go. But also, I have a lead. What you just said is a great lead into something I grabbed today. I happened to be, I took the dogs. I was like, the dogs wanted to go outside stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm thirsty, so let's go for a ride. Let's go get a iced tea. And I was listening to Drunk 3PO, he's a guy associated with Geeks and Gamers. He lives in like Central Florida. His big thing is going to the theme parks. cool guy, cool channel, and he had somebody on, and it reminded me. So the other day, I had someone come in, and they started hitting, spamming the chat, and I was like, you always hear stuff about that. Like, what does that mean? And it's not your fault that someone's coming
Right.
in cussing, ranting, and raving,
But it's on you.
but it's on you.
Yeah,
You have to self-regulate. That's why mods are
that's
so
right.
important. And mods is
Yes.
something else.
Mods
That
are
is,
great.
that's gonna be my last thing is talk about mods because they are of so much importance to me. But uh, uh, so that he started getting hit, and I grabbed it. I want to show that here. It's a couple minutes. Let's see where'd he go. No, let's see here. That one.
Yeah, mods are really important. There's also a way that you can put words that are blocked. But from what I hear, that isn't 100%. So you just have to be really
I have
careful.
all those blocked words in there, and
Yeah.
it still got through.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. It's not 100%. You just have
all
to
right. So
watch it.
this happened to Drunk 3PO today.
So what Threads is? It is Facebook's version. Oh man, I got a spammer in the chat.
Get him the fuck out.
Yeah. Do I need to do it or Mods
Now
got
I
it?
wasn't able to. The live chat
I'll
was
do it.
gone.
I got him.
So this is their reaction.
There's a bunch of spammers in the chat. Yeah, y'all just knock them out.
Get 'em out!
I don't know
They
who
must have.
this
They
guy
found
is.
us. They know we're part of a 199 cult. Look at all these people spamming. What the freak? Just knock them out, Can Man or whoever. They're calling us losers. Why are y'all calling us losers? What's wrong with you? We started talking about Threads, and man, just ban them from the channel. You don't even have to delete them. Just like hide user from channel. Just ban them from the channel. Holy
Just
crap!
Get him out.
More.
Yep.
There's more. Look at this.
Yeah, see that's
Living
what,
rent free.
It's a lot of people coming in and doing it
Yeah.
at once.
We started talking about the new social media app, and they came in. Look at that! What the heck is going on here?
I would not be surprised
and he's got a pretty
if
big channel.
I would not be surprised if somebody just ended their stream and told them all to go over here.
Probably.
Yeah, to like screw with us because they think,
Uh-huh.
oh, come on.
Wow.
And see,
Well,
That
this
is probably what happened.
Yeah.
Go mess
well,
with
see, this is
him.
what
Thank you,
happened.
Can Man Beardo. I see some of y'all like, wow, you really got us. You spelled a bad word in our chat.
See,
Oh, they're spelling bad words in the chat because they hate us. You're trying to get us banned. You're trying to get my channel banned by doing that. Really?
And he
That's
explains
what
it
you
here in
guys
a
are.
second.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, there they go again.
I hope I got that part.
I'm really sorry that things didn't work out between me and your mom.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you're an overweight
is a
fat
great way
fuck
of
that
how
has
you
oily
handle
skin and
spammers.
buck teeth.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Fucking loser.
Don't give them
Holy
power.
crap.
Yeah.
Can Man's like, I got a beard. I'll just focus on the stream. All right, Can Man, we'll leave them
Thank
up
you,
to
Can
you.
Man. Thank you, Can Man.
And
Unbelievable.
see, that's the mods. The
Yep,
mods
here
are
they go.
taking care of that.
But see, they're like with me, they were changing their names. And
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
one,
they're gonna
Jay.
get banned.
Get him, Beardo. That's the tag team right there. Gamer word spammer, so original. Yeah, they're what losers. Man, they are coming in hot.
Yeah.
See how long this
I'm
lasts?
sorry that I have
They're still
600
coming
people
in.
watching my stream and you could barely get 4. I'm sorry that people give gifted memberships. I'm sorry I got cool people on my channel like
Aw.
Fear the Beardo. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that we're promoted a movie that protects children. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're mad. That you want to take this channel down. I'm so sorry that people are giving oh look, a super chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You trying to
Okay,
take the channel
so
down by putting those words
what
up?
they're
This is what they
doing
do. They put those words
them
in the chat, and then they can
when
come back and
YouTube does
flag
pick
it
them
All right,
down.
and
here
say,
it says-
"Oh, they're using like bad words in the chat. They're using bad
Yeah.
words. Let's flag the. Let's flag it." So that's
Same.
what they do. Oh my, they're not stopping. Look at that.
No.
Wow.
Butter biscuit for 10. Speaking of crazy, back in the
So-
day, my brother.
Yeah, that happened today, and that's what he said. Like
Yeah.
they do that stuff, and then they come in, so that then they'll come back and flag you,
Right.
and you're like, I didn't do anything wrong.
But see,
it's not my fault.
them doing what they just did helps when they do go to appeal and they say to YouTube, hey, look, we were trying to block them. The mods were on it. We're saying, hey, look, so everything that they voiced in the moment, showing that that's not okay with them, that helps them with YouTube. And because YouTube, they will drop you just because they don't know. I mean, it's just an automated thing. And then
Yeah.
you have to go through the process. And in doing the process, if they had been taken down right then, YouTube would have taken it back and everything would have been fine. Now, the one that I was just talking about previously had multiple problems before. It wasn't new and they kind of let it go too long. And so
Mhm.
they had so many violations that YouTube was just like, nope, you're done now. And sometimes you can think it's funny or, oh, I don't really care or whatever. But YouTube doesn't play. I mean, this isn't a place you have to watch
Because they
what you
don't have
say.
to.
No, they
There's
don't. They're
2
too
billion
big.
people now on
Yes.
YouTube.
What? So what? Even if it's a mega creator, okay, we lost one. All right, you know what?
Yeah,
There's plenty others out there.
Nick Rekieta comes to mind because he lost his last summer.
Hmm.
He had just gotten done with the Johnny Depp stuff. I mean, it was crazy how much
Right.
money he was making, and now it's crazy for me to think about how much money he's making and whatnot. For Google, no, it's nothing. I
They don't
mean,
care.
no, I mean, $1 million doesn't mean anything to
No.
them.
Mr.
Uh,
Beast has gotten in trouble.
yeah, I mean, everybody has.
They
All
all
the
have. All the big creators, every one of them, they have gotten in trouble at some point, and they've had to, I'm sorry, won't do that again or whatever. I mean, live and learn. They won't do that again because they
Mhm.
don't want to lose everything that they've tried to get. And then they have to start all over again. Now, a mega channel like that, in a moment, they can get all their views, but all their, I shouldn't
Yeah.
say views, but they can start
Um,
another channel and be
Dr.
bang.
Disrespect comes to
Yeah.
mind. He was the guy, he got kicked off Twitch, and he still to this day doesn't know why.
And he
Isn't that
probably
crazy?
will never know because
So
they can
about
just do it.
mods, that's something else. When you're starting a channel, don't give
Yes.
there's a trend where you give everybody a wrench. Don't do that
Mm-mm.
because unless you know the person, and I mean like know them, like you've talked to them and stuff, giving people wrenches that you don't know, they can come back when you're not looking, and they can delete comments.
Right.
They can push through things. So like when you have somebody who's spamming, if somebody is spamming you, they can push through the spam and be
Right.
like, hey, yeah, that's okay. Because like me, I have comments on restricted. It's like a lot of comments. It's supposed to catch a lot of the stuff that comes through. And
Links
then
and
a
stuff like that.
mod a
Mhm.
mod can push through if they see this is being held for review. So and also a mod can put whatever they want to into the chat. So
Right.
and that has been a problem in the past on channels like that I've talked to. Is that they're like
I've gone
they
on.
can't.
I've gone down in a chat and not ever been in that chat before and
Mhm.
said one thing because I wanted to make a comment about somebody. I mean, something they said, yeah, like I
Mhm.
agree or whatever. And I got a wrench, and I'm like, what? I've
Yeah.
been to this channel one time, and that was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You don't know
So
me.
yeah, exactly, right? It's you have to guard your wrenches. And then that being said, also treat your minds, always keeping your mind. Like for me, I love my mods.
Your
It's a
angels.
very core group. It started off with the Angels
Hmm.
because they're a group that when I was hit really hard. October of last year, and it's like, holy cow, like, why am I being attacked like this? And it started with them, and anyway, it continues to grow, but very slowly. But as you see the channel grow, it's like, okay, you got to have more protection, but it has to be someone that you can talk to. And so, like, my big thing with my mods is like they know that when we I want other creators to know. It's like yeah, well, today I saw Texas Jen over on Michigan Law's show, and it's like he knows her because he's met her in Discord the other night. It's like I want people to know, like, okay, that's one of my mods, or Jen with no filter, or Miami Spice. It's like these people. I want you when they go to other places, they'll come back to me and they'll say, "Hey, listen, you gotta see this. This was happening over
Right.
here." It's like, so keep an eye on what's happening on YouTube. It's in a
Your
weird
eyes and
way.
ears.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Hmm.
friendship. It's like a partnership. It's who your YouTube buddies are. Does that make sense?
That's exactly. Yeah.
And because there's you'll find them. People will come out and they will just be willing to help.
Hmm.
But sometimes,
You have to be careful. You got
yeah,
to
you
make
have to
sure
be
that those
careful.
people have your back. Because I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was that said it. They can go in and block people, and they could be blocking people that you don't. I mean, like they could block me just because they're mad at me that day, and expert wouldn't even know.
No,
Well,
I don't keep up with that.
what's
And it was
grandma said she was here. What's up with that? You just have to be able to trust who you have as a mod.
yeah,
Don't
and
just
the
go
mod
modding
thing, yeah,
everybody.
it's a very important thing. It's
And like, I don't want to be a mod on
mhm.
anybody's channel because I don't want the responsibility. And I've
Well,
heard a lot of people say, I don't want to be a mod. It's not
that's
because I
another
don't
thing.
want to mod for a certain person. It's just like, when I go into a chat or I'm like on in here, I like to listen. I'm not always paying
Hmm.
attention to the chat, and I'm not, I'm multitasking or I'm editing or I'm taking out the trash or whatever, and so I don't want the responsibility of, oh, I'm not watching and something could happen, and what if I didn't catch it or whatever, and that's me. So you don't want lazy people like me to be
I
your
wonder.
mod either.
Well, that's like me. Like you know, I'm not gonna hold up mod responsibilities.
I don't
And
want to
that's
be
something
a
else
mod.
that mods they follow as a creator. We talk about having a time when you talk, but there's also those times, like, of course, I'm gonna do the breaking news. Like, that's people kind of know about me. But every
Right.
once in a while, there's that time where it's just like I need somebody to talk to. And my life has become this computer screen, and you just get on and you just start
Talk.
talking. And the next thing you know, you look down and you'll see your mods, like a mod or two there, and you're like, "What are you doing awake at this hour?"
Right.
And so
You've done
they
that a
also,
lot in the
yeah,
middle of the night.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Boy, you remember those?
Yeah. I
Man,
remember
I got,
I remember the camera being dark and you're like, "Where?" He's like, I was asleep and I just woke up and I just had this on my mind and I just wanted to talk to somebody and I can't believe y'all are awake." And we're like, "Yes,
wow,
yes, we're awake." Yeah.
wow, that's crazy. So see,
Mhm.
stuff I don't even
See?
know.
You don't even
But yeah,
know.
it's
We're
very,
there.
very important. But it's like
Mhm.
Feral Housewife here said, I love that our chats mesh up so much. She's talking about Michigan Law Show. So that's something else. Like, I don't know if I would have been on his show or gotten so close, like knowing him, excuse me, if not for like Feral Housewife.
Right.
And
Showing up
that's
in the chat.
so you have people you trust. Well, you have mods. I mean, mods you're gonna trust the most. And it's like I always am like trying to mods anytime they want to come on, or I'll let them come. We'll do our own show if they want to. And also the big thing is that it was, and this is all streamer stuff. I know this isn't about the small channel stuff, but
Yeah.
is I like the we have like Grandma and I will probably talk after the stream's over, and that's something that you learn as a creator.
He
You just
makes
kind of
me.
chill out. Do what do I do?
You make me.
I make you? Yeah. Well, we're both bad. Both of us like to
We're
talk.
both bad about it.
Anyway, let's go to equipment.
Mhm.
So we said that all you need is to start with a phone.
Okay.
That's all you have to have.
That's all you need.
So
You have
what
this, you're good to go.
I want to talk about my wife now. So she is not a YouTuber, right? She's the one that
Yet.
gave me a microphone to get rid of me. Well, now she has. Speak of the devil, and he appears. How are you doing, MLS Law Show?
We're just talking about you.
Yes, yes, we were talking about our mods and
Hmm.
how great they are. Oh wait, did Valhalla show up? Hang on, I didn't mean. Is he here?
Yeah, because Wolf said,
What?
hey,
Why
Wolf Kinder
wasn't
said, hey,
there a? I already have a
vanilla.
channel option.
All right, let's go.
So anyway, equipment. Okay, so my wife,
Yeah, we're not going to be rude to the
she
chat, but we need to talk
yeah,
about these things.
she
We
started.
got a
So
time
she
limit.
started her channel out of boredom, and she
Right.
was like, "I'm so bored. I got to do something." She was spending a lot of time visiting in the hospital, and you guys know how that is. You can only hear that sound so much before you want to take an ice pick to your eardrums. But anyway,
Right.
thank goodness for the noise counseling. Um, so I just
She
lost
just
track of
started
how
filming. She just
she
started
took
doing shorts first, right?
she took videos that she had.
Yeah.
And she, it's one of those things where like you're like, hey, I've got a great video. I'm gonna edit that one day, and
Right.
it's gonna be a really cool thing, right? Well, nobody ever does that. But then all of a sudden, she started doing that for shorts because I told her, I said, why don't you make shorts out of this stuff?
Hmm.
And she's like, I don't know, I don't want to. And he's like, I'm
Yeah,
bored.
and
I'm
she's
like,
a TikTok fan.
yeah, I was like, you need to make shorts. I was like, oh, the dogs. I was like, look, if nothing else, I will love it because it will continue to come up in my stream, and I
Right.
get to see the dogs being goofy. And she
Yeah.
has taken that and just kind of ran with it, and it's what she loves and enjoys. And
She's good at it
she is
too.
she
I
is
love the
truly
new
a
one.
hobbyist.
The new
It's
one.
with the Muppet.
Yes.
I don't know where she gets that stuff.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. I was like, oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, I don't know how
That
she
was
does
really
it.
good. I don't
So
know.
now
I'm
what
not good at
she's
any of that. I don't know that stuff.
she's gone from just sitting there wasting time, trying to do something, to where now she's like, oh wait a second, I have 500 subs. Like
Hmm.
you can get monetized doing this thing. Like she's like, well, that'd be kind of cool. If I'm gonna be putting out dog videos, might as well make a nickel a video.
Right.
Which is
But now that's
probably
harder if you're just doing shorts
true.
because
So
you
she
still have to do the
she's wanting to
hours.
do content now,
Right.
and so she
Hmm.
asked me what she needs. I said, here is the thing. All you need is your phone. Remember that.
Hmm.
But when I stream, I like being right here. I've got, because look, and Grandma will make fun of me. I got my sunglasses on, I'm sitting back. I usually have the laser light show going. I got a new light strip tonight. I'm so excited about Amazon Prime Day because, and
Oh yeah,
we're
11th and
hoping.
12th.
That's right. We're
Yeah.
that's right. We're hoping that Miami Spice and our schedules are going to be able to hook up, and we're going to do a live stream through Amazon Prime days
Oh,
of like
that's
when
cool.
stuff starts popping up and everything. Like there's a few
Yeah.
things I'm looking. Everything I'm looking for is for YouTubing. Like
Hmm.
anything I've ever made
Me
stuff.
too.
Well, I want it to be better.
Hmm.
And does it? Are little things? Do they make you better? No. Do they make you more
Easier.
comfortable
Yeah.
or easier?
Easier.
And
Comfortable.
if
Yeah.
when you get on a
Necessary now.
stream,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
No, it's not. And look at somebody like Ozzy Overlaws, his 26-hour deal he just did. I
Hmm.
got on there for I forget how many hours. Because I got involved with a guest. I was like, this guy is awesome. Um, but it's like I was like 3 or 4 hours. I sat there after doing my own 3 hour show, and you want to be comfortable. And when a breaking news thing happens, like I like having my stuff. I got pen and
Right.
paper over here. I've got the camera finally the way I like it. I can't stand sitting next to drapes because I feel like I'm in a hotel room.
I have my
Um,
lists.
Grandma
Because
has a
y'all know I
list.
make lists
You
over everything.
you know for the first year and a half that I did all my streaming and videos and everything, my desk was a cardboard table.
Hmm.
Actually, it was
I did
fancier than
mine at the
that.
kitchen table.
Well, mine was a little bit fancier. It was that plastic tailgating table where it's
Yeah.
wide and,
Yeah.
and not very deep. Yeah, it was a tailgating table, and I had a broken down office chair,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it, and a laptop. So the first thing, something
Yeah, I
else
did
is that.
most, I will say almost, no, all of them. Every single, every single book that I did on Grandma's house is on my laptop. And I didn't have, I mean, I didn't have a camera or anything because I didn't need one. Um, and I just got the cheapest Yeti microphone, but I didn't even know how to do the thing. Well, that was later on. That was after I was making some good money. Before then, I had a gamer's headset with a
Mhm.
microphone. That's what I recorded all my books on. And then I was like, okay, I got just a regular cheap, it was like $10 microphone, and you can actually tell. But that's what I did. And those books are still there. I have over 500 books that I have on there, and they're evergreen, which means they're there forever. And there's always going to be kids coming up. So there's always going to be a kindergartner or a first grader or second grade. Yes. See right there. I had my headset. Exactly. I
seven
had Turtle
dollars from
Beach.
Amazon.
I have my Turtle
Seven
Beaches.
dollars. I don't know what
Yes.
it is.
Mine were a
And
little bit more. I think mine were 30, but I mean,
this was an
still.
improvement over my originals I had. The originals I had cut into my ears.
Yes.
The
Well, I
White
did
Rabbit
too.
got me
It was
these.
it was all running apart. It was all fraying.
Yeah, yeah.
These are my
And
nice ones, and I have
I
my
thought,
nice mic. I have multiple mics now, but
yeah, well, so gosh, but we can go.
you
It
don't
is
need
a
all that. You
yeah, and that's the thing I'm worried
mm-mm.
about talking too much about equipment stuff
You
is
don't
because
have
you
to
get
have it.
overwhelmed with it. That
Right.
was a big problem I had. The laptop I had I didn't like, and it was brand new. It's a Microsoft Surface. It was top of the line at the time,
Mine
you
wasn't.
know,
I couldn't
and
afford that.
um,
I was a single mom. I had no money. I didn't have, and I was doing it on a bet. I wasn't
oh,
thinking that I was going to do this for any, for any real reason except to please my kids that, even an old lady like me, I can do it. I never, ever in my wildest dreams thought that that bet that I had with my kids would turn into what I do, and that is my kids will even go, yeah, it's really weird when my people say, well, so what does your mom do? Oh, she's a YouTuber. They're like, what? I feel funny when people go, so what do you do for a living? Oh, well, I'm a YouTuber, and they're like, what? Oh, that was another thing talking about promoting. What I do is, oh, I meant to have them with me, but I don't. I have business cards. I
mhm.
made business cards for Grandma's house. And when I'm out and I see a mom or a dad or a grandparent or whatever, and they have some little kids, I walk up to them and I say, hey, excuse me, but I'd like, I'm a YouTuber. I have a children's YouTube channel and I read books to children, and I hand them a business card, and they're like, "Oh, wow." And I was like, "Yeah, and I tell them, there's no animation, blah, blah, blah. Schools use me." And they're like, "Oh, great." Now, whether or not they ever watch it, I don't know. And I don't know if they subscribe or not. I will say that 96% of the people who watch my channel do not subscribe. So it's not important. I have over 27 million views, and that's what pays my bills. But You don't have to have anything. You don't have to have Twitter or all of these other social media. You don't. Just talk to people. Just go out there, and when you're in Walmart, just say, "Hey, if you see that they're interested in, what you're doing or whatever, or your friends, tell your friends, say, "Hey,
I don't think any of
I've
my
got a
friends are
YouTube."
subscribed to me.
Probably not, because they hear enough of you. We're all
Yeah.
right here. You got Ballstorm and everybody. That's the thing. Get your family, get your friends, get your people at your church. If you're in college, you get people in your, that are interested in the same things that you're interested in, and you just tell them.
See,
If you
now
like,
Lisa
there you
has
go.
that story. A little boy came up to me at Walmart and asked if I
You like
liked
YouTube?
YouTube. Then made me
Yeah.
get my phone out and subscribe to his channel.
I do that all the time, and then also then I take it one step more. I get Krispy Kreme or Starbucks gift cards, $5,
Hmm.
and I will approach people in restaurants like IHOP or whatever when I see like a dad with two kids and he's kind of like struggling or whatever, or I see anybody at Sam's or whatever and they've got a kid. I hand them the Krispy Kreme or Starbucks card or whatever and my business card. And I hand it to them. And first, I can write that $5 card off
Hmm.
and the business cards. That's a write off. And then I'm talking to them. That gives them a reason to remember me, not just because of a business card, but I just gave them a gift card. And so they're thinking about me. Oh, wow, she gave me a gift card. And then when they go to use that gift card, they're thinking about me. And then when they're talking to their friends, they're like, yeah, this crazy lady came up to me and gave me a $5 gift card to Starbucks. Because
Hmm.
a lady took my cart back for me because I do have a balance disorder and I had my hands full. And she had a little girl and she took my cart back. And when she came back to her car, I gave her a Starbucks card and my business card. Just because she took my cart, but she will remember me
Yeah.
and she will talk
It's
about me.
that's like the old fashioned way of drumming up business. And there
Yeah.
was a thing. I forget who was talking about. It was like a year or so ago. Somebody had some stream I was listening to. They were complaining about people. Somebody had bought a billboard promoting their channel, and
Do
like
it.
I can't believe somebody would do that. And it's
Absolutely, I
all
would.
yeah. It's
You
just
think I wouldn't have my big old grandma's and have my little girl, the little stick figure thing up there saying
oh yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be
grandma's house?
awesome.
I just visit grandma's house. It's always fun at grandma's house. That's my thing. I'm like,
Um,
yes.
hey, real quick, will somebody, if you guys haven't already, somebody put Michigan laws stuff up there because I got a feeling we're gonna be running into each other a lot on the tubes. So I don't want you guys to miss his channel. Same thing with Michael Malloy. Just great. So that's another thing is when you start finding great people. And right now I'm on this kick about
Right.
new. Okay, so if you're somebody new, I want to get I want to get growing, get going, all this stuff. I want to talk sometimes with Michigan Law Show about his stuff because when I found him, I think he like just shot through the roof real quick with
Hmm.
channel growth, which is it's
It happens.
awesome. It's
I
awesome,
did.
and that's something else. Don't look for that instant notoriety with
No,
YouTube. Matter of fact, if you get it,
takes a long
it
time.
might be a bad thing. It took me forever. It felt like, and White Rabbit will tell you, I was mopey and moaning and
No.
groaning, and then it's just like
That's
one
why I say a
day,
year.
yeah,
Think a
I've
year. Put in your head, it's going to take me a year. And if you
yeah.
just know and you're not expecting anything that it's going to take me a year because it takes a long time. I mean, I had 10, 15-minute little videos. It took me a long time. And then once you get growing and then it starts to snowball and it starts, the algorithm starts pushing you out and you could get a viral video. I mean, don't count on that because I never did. But it starts to grow. And if you have in your head a certain period of time, I'm gonna have this by this time and all that, and then it doesn't happen, or you're waiting and you're waiting and you're thinking and you're thinking, then you will start to get depressed. Thank you, Guava. Hush money. You do start to get upset and thinking, oh, I'm not doing it right. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. And then you'll stop. And you don't want to stop. You want to keep going and going and just keep on putting it out there. There was a certain person who made a cake who was all upset because she was like, oh, I messed up. And I'm like, no, that's great content. It doesn't have to be perfect.
People like seeing the flaws.
Yes.
You know, they don't expect
your person.
Like
your
Superman.
person. No, you're a person.
Superman,
throw it out there. Yeah, don't edit it out. Leave it.
It's okay to make mistakes. Yeah, I don't edit anything. I don't edit anything. When you see me do a video, I bet you. Let me tell you how I edit videos. A video like a 10-minute video on something, right? If I don't like it, I know I have this gut feeling, and I just stop talking. I'm like, all right, we're gonna redo this. I don't like try to cut out a segment and put in the new thing. I'm like, oh man, that's just I can't do that. I go, I hit it and I go. And some people can't do that. That's fine. You'll find very quickly what you're good at, and
then do
focus
that
on your strengths. And instead of trying to improve your weaknesses, I say ignore them because
just keep on going.
Do what you're good at.
Right.
And it's funny, like, so Guava Ball here, of course, I know Guava Ball very well, but so I, just as an example, let's see here. So I pull up, I'll be like, oh, look, he got a super chat from Guava Ball. And then, I've got a little, with him, I'm looking for his particular sound thing that he likes so much.
How are you going to do that?
It's his favorite. And he goes,
good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun.
Guava Ball, hush money for grandma, keep our secret. And because, here's the thing. That is so important. Like, I am so honored that somebody is here to say, hey, here is anything. And I mean that from members to super chats, super stickers, even though I miss a lot of the super stickers because I can't pull them up on StreamYard.
Right.
But it's, I've got a little thing I like to do. It does. It will throw off the whole chat, and I, make a celebration out of it.
Right.
So
like right now. So I wanted to say something when we're talking about equipment. So thank you, Guava Ball. I will keep our secret. No worries. I got you, man. When we're talking about the things that you don't need, like I said, you don't need the expensive mics. You don't need the special stuff. You can use your laptop. You can use your phone. You can, whatever you feel comfortable with, use that. Don't go out and spend any money on that stuff. Okay, so we have mentioned, you were talking about one time about asking us about our backdrops and, what do you have in your background and stuff like this. Okay, so literally this is nothing. I don't have anything special behind me except for what's behind me. That's literally my cat's bed on top of a mini fridge that is covered by a tablecloth because it's not even being used. It's just holding my cat's bed. There's a copier right here. You see all that. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I've got a sofa. My dog used to lay there. There's nothing in particular that I have done. I used to pull the curtains. I was like, why? And then I have to keep remembering to close the curtains and rah, rah, rah. And I like to freak expert out because he's ready for something to pop in
I'm
and
waiting
freak
to see the scream mask. look in through the window.
He's ready to see that.
And, yeah,
So
it
there's
does bother
nothing
me.
there. I am on the second floor, so there's not a big deal. So you
I was
don't
so
have to
relaxed,
have,
so relieved when I heard that.
yeah, you don't have to have this fancy backdrop. I mean, I do have them. I mean, I have, at one point, I had this thing that I had with a black background and I
Mhm.
can do the lights and all that. I have that. But I have that in my other room so I can block out the stuff so I can do my ASMR videos and stuff. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to have a special bookshelf with all the little knickknacks. If you want to, you can. You can start like this and move to something like what Expert has with the lights and that,
I don't
you
have
have the little
anything. I used
twinkle
to have a
lights.
TV facing, and I would
Yeah.
play this in the background. I don't know why I
Right.
like that.
I mean,
Um,
I have in my other room that you see them in all the little things with the lights and the star. It's like a star and a moon, like a half moon kind of thing. I have all that stuff. I have fancy backdrops, but you won't see them because I don't use them like right now. I
you know,
just don't. This is all you need. Nobody cares. I mean, so don't think I have to have a special background or I have to have a special mic. You don't. You can do it outside. I almost did tonight. I almost did it outside on my porch.
oh, that's
I thought
awesome.
about that. I was like, I should stream it. And I was like, no, I will stream like the next time or something. I will do that because it's nice out there. It's pretty,
That reminds me of a
my backyard looks
conversation.
nice.
I
Don't
had a
have to worry about
conversation
it.
with Hall about that. Because he was
He
like,
can
"Oh
do it
man,
on his farm.
yeah." He's like, "Man, you gotta come down to the farm sometime, stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And like, you know what? We'll do a
Campfire.
live stream.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "No, dude, it'd be awesome." I was like, "Because
Yes.
everything's content." And that's
Yes, it
what,
is.
and that's something
Everything.
else that as you're starting, don't, like Grandma just said, don't get hung up on the little things. If you can throw
Yeah.
the details away and do
Mhm.
what makes you comfortable. Now, for me to be comfortable, there's a lot of junker. I mean, like here, like I've got, I don't even know the guy's name. It's not Boba Fett. It's the other dude. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
it's because he's got googly eyes.
Oh
That's the
my
cool
goodness.
thing. And like my microphone used to have googly eyes. I think googly eyes need to make a comeback on this guy.
Mm.
But uh well, okay, microphone's a big thing. So I had a Shure microphone. That's the one that not Shure. I saw yours, and that's why I said
Yeti.
that. I had a
Yeti, Yeti.
Yeti. That's
Mhm.
what White Rabbit got me a Yeti.
I
This is a
don't have.
snowball, and
Yeah.
it literally fell off the stand. It started messing up, and I was on
During a
stream,
stream.
and it just goes boom. It hit the table, and it hit the floor. I sat there, I'm just looking at it. I'm like,
Mhm.
they're in the middle of a
Oops.
stream.
Yep.
My microphone literally jumped off the cliff.
It did. I had enough.
Oh my gosh, that Amazon machine's talking. Stop listening.
No.
Oh,
So,
it's looking up. Literally jumped off the cliff.
yeah.
Alexa,
Oh,
stop
did.
listening.
I had for once I upgraded from my, my Turtle Beach headset and my other little $20 microphone. Um I got a Yeti because my son was a gamer and he has what he had. So I was like, okay, so I got that. But I got the really good one. I got the X. I mean, I got the
Mhm.
really good Yeti because I was like, I'm going to do this for my, grandma's house. And so I did that. And then when I started my ASMR, I was like, oh, okay. So this really good, expensive Yeti is not the one I need. I need the cheap one because I need to be able to have the gain and the stuff on the mic instead of doing it through the program like the other one. And so I was like, okay. So I got
Yeah.
that. And so I was like, if I had gotten cheaper one for grandma's house, I would have been set. So I do
I
use a lot of the same things that I did with grandma's house, like the software. So I use Adobe, the whole Adobe suite. So I use
see. I've never even touched
Pro.
Adobe.
Yeah, I use Premiere Pro. I use Photoshop. I use that whole thing, but I pay for it. You don't have to do that. You can do everything through YouTube. You don't have to have StreamYards. You can literally do a live stream through YouTube without doing a thing. You don't need a special program. There's nothing that you need to do. You can use Canva or any of that stuff that's free to do your thumbnails. Actually, YouTube has it in their thing that you can do a thumbnail through YouTube. So there's nothing. Yeah, you don't know that? You can do
The White Rabbit
thumbnails.
does all my thumbnails. I don't know how to do a thumbnail.
Yeah,
Try that
so
one on.
YouTube has it where they will pick a picture out of, like, I think they pick 3 different random pictures off of
Oh,
your
yeah, okay,
feed,
yeah, I do know that, but
and then you can add
I
text.
do live stream, so I don't have
So,
anything up yet.
oh, well, you just do it after. As soon as you go down, you can pop up that thumbnail.
You know what was funny? Last night I talked about the Titan sub.
Mhm.
I don't know, manifesto, whatever they released, and oh, Jamie's back. I actually have a story about her. She said today, which ties everything up about chat, but uh, I got that Subway subs. Someone had put up
Yeah.
our subs don't implode.
Right, I
And
saw
I put
that.
that up
That's
as
funny.
the thumbnail, and I've had more people talk about that. And all it was just grabbing a picture.
Right.
So, but I don't know how to do thumbnails. That is very sad. I have looked. I wish I knew how.
Mhm.
White Rabbit wishes I knew how.
I bet she does.
Yes,
She has to do
yes.
them all.
But she is.
Thumbnails are
She does them all.
important.
They are, and
Thumbnails
there's
are
actually an
important.
analytic on that. And it's
Mhm.
like how many people see your thumbnail and then how many people click after seeing your thumbnail.
Yeah.
And
Thumbnails are
mine was
important.
low right now. It is like 3%. But my analytics are very different than everybody else's. And that's something else that's a mid tier when you get to. Don't worry about that.
Right.
It's none of the stuff you need to worry about. I think that might be
No,
my biggest thing. So don't worry
don't
about
worry about it.
anything.
No.
But Jamie, met her over on Michigan Laws, right? Uh, they, um, somebody, their chat said that the girls that are on his uh, channel were racist because they didn't understand this guy's accent. And I was like, that's stupid. That's the
It's
dumbest thing
crazy.
I've ever heard of. And
Yeah,
that is the chat messing with you. And you
that
can't
is.
ever let something like that happen. And because
Oh,
you're not,
yeah.
I mean,
Thick
and
skin.
people that goes back to people like to see the world burn. And so
Mhm.
my first comment was your content sucks, your voice is horrible, you should delete your account.
And I
I didn't do
remember the
anything for a
first time
week.
you said that, I just laughed and I said, and I have a channel where I just read books to children. And before they took away comments, that was the number one thing that the trolls would say is, I hate your voice. You can't read. You read too slow. Blah, blah, blah. They always said, I hate your voice and you read too slow. And I'm like, well, I don't listen. And
That's the
thank you
key.
for the comment because you just pushed my content out more because every time you make a comment, so don't ever,
And
when people are going to say things, and so what? You have to have a thick skin. You
yeah,
cannot let it bother you.
and listen, you get me to come into your chat, just hold on to your books because I'm sitting there 90% of the time trying to get the content maker to mess up. You know, I mean, ask Clumsy, ask ask anybody, ask Melissa Jane. Oh, I'm
You're
awful.
right, Jen.
I'm just sitting there, just tapping away. I'm like,
Mhm.
so have it was I forgot I was saying this for a while. I would come into the middle of the chat, it'd be like a serious topic, and I'd say, "So has anybody seen any good movies lately?"
Don't butt.
I mean, yeah,
But
just
that's
something
okay.
stupid.
That's okay because it's a comment and it doesn't matter. For a while, people were doing, saying put one in the chat for this, put one in the chat for that, or two in the chat just to get people to say, to interact. So it's one, for whatever. And so they would do that. And that was to get you to the chat to interact with whatever the content creator was saying. So that was a thing. But then YouTube caught on to that. And then it was, you have to have X number of characters. And so now, like what we do at the end of your thing when you're doing your outro, and we do all the little emojis. If you do a whole bunch of those emojis and we just go and we're on and on and on, that is huge because that one is content, interacting, but
And
it's
I'm looked
also
into
at
that.
the end of your stream that shows YouTube that these people are interacting at the end of your stream. That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
And that's
Hmm.
something you guys don't realize. Like all this stuff means so much to everybody.
Yeah.
Putting in your comments,
Yeah.
putting
Just say
in,
hey.
and when something's over, you put a
Hmm.
comment about the stream, and all you have to do is just like put like a happy face or
Right.
something. Anything that
Put
does
three of
that,
them, not just one.
it's like putting
Do more
it's
than
like
one thing.
it's like putting yeah, I don't know. You're
Your
putting
stamp.
quarters in a
Yeah. You're saying, hey, I liked
mechanical
it.
bull.
It's
Yeah,
like,
and it's like
and it's fun to say goodbye to everybody. Everybody says good night, when like last night people were like, I've got to go. And there's like, oh, and during the thing, you're like, oh, good night to whoever it is that's leaving, even if it's in the middle of the stream and the person's like,
there it is.
yeah, there you go. Say,
That's the comment.
oh, good night, Texas Jen, or, whoever it is, good night. When you're saying people in the chat are saying good night to those people, it's nice to be recognized. It's nice that it's it's like good night, John Boy, good night, Elizabeth, they're saying good night to everybody. And it's fun and it makes that person feel special that I was in that chat and now they're all saying goodnight to me. It also helps that like expert will be talking about whatever and then all of a sudden and he might miss it because he doesn't read the chat, but White Rabbit does. So he might miss it, but everybody else is saying goodnight. And so it doesn't matter if he does or not. Everybody else is saying it. And it is like saying goodnight to your family, or we're glad you were here, or, somebody doesn't feel good, help you feel better. It's a big deal. It's your village, as Mr. Molloy calls it.
And that's something else that I want.
But that does
This is
build up. You're
it
not going to
does.
get that when you first start. So it will happen. And like, let's just talk about the people in the chat right this second. Everybody that is in this chat right this second, most of these people, I recognize these names. And so these people, if we'll say Guava Ball. Say Guava Ball decides he wants to do a channel and he's just going to talk about, Japanese
Trains.
trains, Japanese trees. or sun sails. We're going to do a thing about sun sails. So whatever it is. So Guava Ball decides he's going to do a channel and he's got his phone. And so he's just in his backyard and he's just filming this sail. Okay, that's great. And he doesn't think anybody and their brother is going to care about this, sunset shade. Okay, you're probably right. But it doesn't matter because everybody in this chat will go, oh, Guava's got a video. Let's go look. And they'll go watch. Whether it's good or bad or doesn't matter. He's got this whole village over here who will go watch it. And, there you go. That's right. Japanese maples and sunsails. They're wonderful things. And then that one video leads to another video and leads to another video. And now he's got all these people that he's known in this chat. He goes over to Mr. Malloy's and he's got people over there. He goes over to, Valhalla's channel. that's growing, or I told him put a camera on the goats and just have a goat cam, and he's thinking about doing all these things. Just start, and when
and stay
you're
consistent.
yeah, and when you're part of a chat, no matter what channel it is, and you're interacting, people will start to talk, and then you get like, okay, we're going to bring in Discord. My kids think it's hilarious. And I'm like, oh, I was in an emergency room with my son, and I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. And my kids are like, you're in Discord, Mom? I'm like, yes, I'll let them know that, so you talk in Discord. I've got a video up. And they're like, okay. And you give them a link. And so all of these people start watching you. And so that's another way you can promote your channel with people who know you and who will support you, even if nobody really wants to watch a video about your sunshade, We'll tell you if it sucks.
You know what's
And it
funny?
doesn't matter if it sucks or not. Just put out another video.
All that comes back to videos that I was amazed got anything, and they were I was visiting at a hospital and I couldn't do a stream. I'm watching. This is 2 months after I got monetized, and I'm watching everything that I worked so hard for just fade away
Right.
because you have to. If you're not putting out content, you don't get promoted by the algorithm.
Right.
And uh, one day I saw the sun going down, and I was like, I'm gonna put a camera up. I put my phone up, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
Apple, by the way, if you don't know, because I got to the point I love gadgets. I grew up with PCs and stuff. I'm a big Xbox guy, all that stuff. But the problem is that they don't have one company that's making everything, and I'm like, I'm just
Apple
I don't
does.
have time to learn a different platform. That's
Right.
that's a big thing. You'll realize YouTube eats up your time,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, so I put my phone up as a camera, and then I was able to chat on my laptop, and
Right.
it was ended up being some of like the coolest streams. And what was great about it was I got to interact with the chat while the
Mm-hmm.
sun's setting and say, "Hey guys, this is what's happening," and you guys were so awesome, and you
Yeah.
you don't realize like those little things just they you be
It made you feel good.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a wonderful thing, and I
Yeah.
wish everybody could experience it. But again, the numbers are like 99% of the people that start doing YouTube, they stop doing it. So it's just something you have to. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's why I said do something that you're passionate about or that you have interest in. Don't do something because it's trending and you really don't care, but you think, oh, I can make money. There are, okay, it's like gaming.
Mhm.
Gaming is a really hard niche to get into. And unless you're already going to be doing it, if you're doing it, then sure, put a camera on it and might as well like Ash, Ash and Guava. That's awesome. They're already doing it. So you might as well make a video and then we'll go over and watch Ash kick his butt and that's all fun. But if you're going to do that and try and get into that and make money at it, it's gonna be a long time for you to really be successful because unless you have something else. So like if you wanted to do the Japanese maples and the sun sales and gaming, then that's how you layer because now you've got multiple things, you have different people coming in, and it also helps with your algorithm to push out the different things. But I preach this not just in YouTube, but in life. If it doesn't bring you joy or happiness, do not do it.
Yeah,
So if you
you'll hate
start,
yourself.
yeah, if you start doing something and then you see that it's going in a direction that you really don't want, that's another thing. Don't let the chat push you into doing a stream or, go into a direction that you don't want. Because
Yeah, for me,
if
it's
you,
drama. I'm not gonna
it,
do drama because
right,
you know
if
what? I don't
you do,
care.
you'll be bad. Yeah.
I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't care what this person did.
Yeah.
It does it have anything to do with me? I lost interest.
Right. So
And
you can't let the chat determine what it is that makes you happy.
you can't assume other people's feelings. You can't
Right.
assume what other people are talking about. All you can
Right.
do is just stick with the facts of any story. Don't try to make up something. Well, I
Right.
mean, entertainment wise, you can. It's okay. Like my big thing is like on
We can have
history and
fun.
stuff like that. I love to
Yeah.
think of the idea of putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. But
Mhm.
it's if you just stick with the facts, you stay straightforward, and you stay true to yourself. That's the best way to do it to succeed. And my favorite channels are have nothing to
No,
do with what I talk about. Not a single
right.
thing. My favorite stuff, um, probably comic book stuff. A lot of that. And that's kind of drama. But I love a channel called Project Farm, and this guy just tests tools and stuff.
Oh, that's
I mean,
cool.
it's the craziest thing. My favorite videos was a guy in New York City who makes clear ice for bars. I watched a 30-minute video with somebody making ice. My favorite
Now
video I
that is
think I've ever
something
seen.
too. If you have knowledge on something that's like that, how many people know how to, make clear ice that, crystal clear ice for a bar or shapes or, stuff like that. Okay, I don't. I think you boil it or I don't know. I don't know how you would do
It's a
that.
whole process.
See, that's the
I'll have
thing.
to
I
find the
don't know.
video and send it to you.
And
Valhalla
YouTube,
here makes a great point. Look at that.
mm,
It's okay to admit when being wrong. That's the key thing.
yes.
I'm
Yeah.
wrong all the time. Before I open my mouth, I know I'm wrong. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to
It
be
is
right.
okay.
It's actually better if you're not right.
Yeah.
And you just say, "Oh, well, I screwed up.
Yeah. I messed up.
You
My
should have
bad.
listened to me. Don't
Yeah.
depend on me.
My bad.
I'm not.
Now, the
I'm
only
a,
time you
I'm a
really
dummy."
need to be right is if you are trying to teach somebody how to do stuff. And YouTube is known for if you are trying to, change out a thermostat or, change a tire or you need to, like my son got a new controller, Xbox controller, and he did not know how to pair it up. And he's calling me. He's like, Mom, I don't know how to do
YouTube.
this. Papa. I was like, look, I don't know anything about Xbox controllers. You need to wait till your sister gets home. Do not
Yeah,
ask me. So what did he do? And he's autistic. What did he do? He went on
YouTube it.
YouTube. He found a video. He watched the video. And then he called. He was like, I'm so proud of myself. I figured it out. I was like, exactly. You watched YouTube, didn't you? He said,
Yeah.
yes. So if there's little things, anything like the Xbox controller, if you know how to do stuff like that and you just make videos on how to do stuff like an electrician or, a mechanic, there's
No,
so
here's
many
the
things.
thing.
Valhalla could talk about raising
That's
goats.
I was getting ready to bring him up again because he said
Yes.
because Valhalla. I know you're in the chat
Farming.
now, but earlier I talked about you. I said that you said something the other day that has resonated with me, and it's that when somebody is passionate about something, they love so no matter what it is, you just want to hear their story.
Right.
And I love that. Like that is
Just talk.
such a thing about me about how I can talk to anybody. It's that stamp collector. I would love to talk to somebody who makes little ships and bottles. Those things fascinate me for some reason. Yeah, see how you're looking at
Yeah,
me?
see? I
Isn't
don't
that
have any
weird?
interest in that. But if you want to
Yeah.
talk about aliens, I'm all over that.
But now, see, I have a lot of fun with that. I just think they're a hoot. So you have to do what's funny. You got to do what you like. And at the end of the day, just make videos about dogs and cats and cucumbers. You ever see a cat react to a cucumber?
Yeah, I've seen
Those
those.
those videos
Yeah.
are, yeah, they're lit. So
Yeah.
that's
So
all I got.
the
We've
whole
been 2
the
hours. I
whole
tried to do
thing,
the thing.
yeah, the whole thing from start to finish is grab your phone. You do not have to have anything special. You don't have to have a backdrop. You can do it in your yard. You can do it in how many times do you see a video of somebody sitting in their car talking? You can sit in your car and talk. You can take your kids to school, and while you're sitting in the carpool line, you can just talk about things. You can just talk. You
Yeah.
don't have to have a special video. You can just talk about what you know. If you're a mom or a dad or a whatever, and you just want to sit and talk about whatever's on your mind at that moment, turn on the camera and just do it. But you can't stop and think, oh my gosh, what if nobody watches? Or,
I'm
oh my
glad you said
gosh,
that.
what if nobody cares? It doesn't matter. Just do
Uh,
it. Just do it.
the thing about being in the car, that reminds me of one time I was in the car and I was listening to creator Mountain Girl 212. I don't know what she was
I
talking
like
about.
her.
I
Yeah.
love her to
Yeah.
death. I don't know what she
Mhm.
was talking about. I have no idea whatever, but what she was on a rant, and the
No,
way she ranted,
that's always a good thing too, to get it out.
I was in such a awful I was going to the hospital. I didn't
Mhm.
want to go in. I
Go
didn't
be
want to spend
going.
my day there again. You know.
Right.
I sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes knowing that I should be inside. And I was listening to her. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best I felt in 6 weeks. And
Right.
she has no idea that it affected me. And that's
Right.
something I told her the story. She's like, what was I
What?
talking about? I was like, I have no idea. I
I
can't
don't know.
remember. I just remember
Doesn't matter.
laughing till I cried. And it's one of those good laughters. And that's what don't always worry about the numbers.
Mm-mm.
Worry about your content. If you're true, you have something good,
Yeah.
you're gonna affect somebody. And like what she did, the way she affected me, I
That
was
made
forever in her debt, and
touched
I can't
you.
remember what she was talking
Right.
about.
Right. It
And
doesn't matter
also,
what you're talking about.
uh,
It made a difference to
it
you
did,
in that moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
it absolutely did,
That's
and I'm
another thing
forever
when
in debt.
people rant and you go on a rant because of whatever, whatever is happening. I was watching a big YouTube channel today and they were streaming, and he had what he was going to say, and it just kind of took its own trail there, and he went into a rant that just went on and on and on, and I'm doing other things and I'm like, yep, 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 and I'm like, amen, I got you, I feel exactly the same way. And even though it was someone over stupid that I wouldn't know, I was like, yep, I feel that. Yep, you're right. You have plenty of people that are going to be with you, and then you're going to have plenty of people that are going to disagree, and it doesn't matter. And that's why I say people are going to say things about, I don't think you're right, or expert said something earlier to me, and I don't remember what it was, but I do remember you saying, you know somebody's going to say something, they're going to disagree, and okay, they disagree, but it doesn't matter because everybody's different. Expert could, say, aliens aren't real. And I could say, excuse me, but they are.
Yeah,
We could talk about Bigfoot. It doesn't matter. Everybody has an opinion. We might be a little bit on the same page. We could be totally off
hmm
but at the end of the day, you come together and it's a discussion and it's content. And if you don't like what somebody says, then stop listening to them in that moment. Go do something else and watch another
uh,
video.
yeah.
You can always
Listening
turn
to
that person off.
yeah, it doesn't take long for me to change topics, so
Yeah.
you can always that.
Yep.
Listen, I try to do now. I try to keep live streams like right around 2 hours,
Yep. We're good.
and so we are going to. We've already talked to earlier today that we want to do another one of these, but we have a
Yes.
super chat, and I'm going to read this because this is exactly how I feel as well. Michael Maloney show. If liking grandma is wrong, I don't want to be right, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel. We
Um,
absolutely love you over here. Thank you so
I love
much.
y'all too. I
You
truly do.
have you have meant so much to all of us. And
That
it's
makes me
just
feel good.
it's so great to oh wait, hang on. We got a new member.
Hey,
Jamie's a new
Jamie.
member. Congratulations. Thank you. And if you can't, if YouTube hasn't let you straight into the Discord, there, go to the members page. Uh, on my
like a little
YouTube
tab.
channel, and there's the tab. Thank you.
Hmm.
'Cause I have a hard time with words.
Okay.
There's a link to
Words are hard.
Discord, and come in and make yourself at home. And
Thank you, Valhalla.
but yeah, what happened with Valhalla?
He said,
Did I
"I
mess up
rock.
again?
I love y'all too. I
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
she
I,
absolutely
I
does.
really do. And we do want to do this again. There's so much to talk about. I mean, we were just going to talk about starting, but there's so many questions. And it seems like every time I come on, we do talk about stuff. I mean, we were talking about on Malloy's birthday stream about taxes and write-offs and stuff. So there's a million things that we can talk about. We can talk about promoting. We can talk about growing your channel. There's so much. So just start thinking about questions that you have and write them down. Do like me, make a list so that you
Yeah,
don't forget. And we will do this again. And you can ask me anything you want to know.
yeah. Just
Um, I'm
we ought to
always,
put that. I think there's a new Discord channel up, something about creators. So if you're in
oh,
Discord, you
there
can
is.
always put questions in there, and we'll do another show.
Yeah.
Grandma, with that, we're going to
Say
say
goodbye.
bye, and
Yeah.
of course, stick around. And I'll say goodbye to you, and I don't know what's going on next, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you, and can't wait. We got a great weekend coming out ahead of us.
Yep.
Tomorrow's Friday Night Live. Don't forget on
Yay.
Steve Ghazi channel at 8 p.m. It's Danielle's going to be on there. She's so excited.
I
We
know.
all have to go
I'm so
support
proud of her
her.
too. See,
And
that's
then,
another thing. Step out of your box.
oh
You
yeah,
might be uncomfortable for a moment, but now she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be on this, and I'm going
I
to do
know.
that."
She came into Discord. She's like, this was the
She's so
first time she
excited.
had turned the camera on and started talking. I was like, and now she's got a laptop set up in her room, and she's got the coolest
Yeah,
background, by the way.
it's
So
so
that's,
cool.
and she just took to it like to water. And you know what? She says, "Man, I'm not a creator. I just really like being on YouTube, hanging out, and doing this stuff." So
You don't have to be a creator.
she gets all the fun part without any of the drama part being attached to it. So,
That's right.
guys, I love y'all. Thank
Bye.
you so much, and you know, nobody's got time for that, right?
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got her. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop. Then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Jesus, 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 it's a fire. "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that.